Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Amy's Lamb Reading Club at Red Monkeys. Red Monkey. Today I'll read you this: Granny's Jungle Grandads Boneshaker Bicycle. I once read you Granny's Jungle Garden. It's a very strange garden, but I like it. But I don't know this story yet, but I'm going to read this story. Let's read it. Chapter 1. This is a story about my granddad. He lives in an amazing house in the middle of the town. It's easy to spot Granddad's house. It's the one with all the statues and garden gnomes outside. And inside Granddad's house is full of junk. From top to bottom it's crammed with fascinating things. You never know when it might come in handy. Granddad has collected the unusual objects for as long as he can remember, and he never throws anything away. Even Granddad's garden shed is full of junk. One day during my half term, he was rooting around and I came across a rusty old bike. Wow, I didn't know Granddad had a bike. Yes, me too. Bless me, said Granddad. It isn't my old boneshaker bicycle. I haven't seen that rickety thing for years. How old is it? I asked. Well, let's see, said Granddad. I bought it over 50 years ago, and it was second-hand even then. Let's get it on going with that, I suggested. You'd be able to get out and about more. So I could, said Granddad, and cycling is a great exercise. So it is, said Granddad. Let's get started now. It's lucky the Toodle Kid was still in the saddlebag, so we dusted it down and we cleaned it up. We mended the punctures and we pumped up the tires. We polished up the saddles and we washed down the mud guards. We checked the brakes and we oiled the wheels. Everything seemed to be going as well. At last, it was ready to try out. Granddad felt a bit wobbly at first. You say you never forget how to ride a bicycle. And sure enough, Granddad soon got the hang of it again. Yippee! This is just like the old times. Well done, Granddad. Granddad was so pleased with his bike, we decided to go on a cycle ride the next day. Chapter 2. The following day I met Granddad. We cycled to the outskirts of town. After a while, Granddad began to lag behind. I could see he was finding it hard going. Shall we turn back in now? I asked. Not likely, said Granddad, rather out of breath. Look at that sign over there. Granddad can never resist the thought of buying more useless objects, so we cycled, and luckily it was downhill to Cloverfield. We propped up our bikes and started looking at the stalls. They should be safe here. Almost immediately, Granddad spotted something he liked. Wow, look at that clock. It's just what I needed for my mantelpiece. Granddad paid the lady 50 pence for the clock and we moved on. But as we headed for the next stall, we noticed someone fiddling with Granddad's bike. Hey, hands off! The stranger was taken by surprise. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. He thought this old bike was for sale, he explained. Well, it's not, said Granddad rather crossly. Oh, that's a shame, sighed the man. I'd be willing to pay you 25 pence for it. Granddad shook his head. I never sell anything. I only collect things. The man thought for a moment. How about 100 pounds? He asked. Granddad was a little taken aback, but he still shook his head. The man thought for another moment. I'll make you a final offer, 250 pounds. I whistled. 250 pounds is a lot of money. But Granddad still refused. Oh, well, said the stranger. If you change your mind, please get in touch. My name's Mr. Bell, by the way. He said goodbye and gave Granddad his card. He must be badly offering me all that money for my old boneshaker bike, said Granddad. But secretly, I thought Granddad must be badly to turn the offer. We put the clock in Granddad's saddle and back and left for home. The return journey seemed even harder work for Granddad. I'm not sure cycling is such a good idea, he said as he reached in the front gate. I could do with a cup of tea. I helped Granddad off his bike and we went indoors. Granddad put the clock on the mantelpiece and tucked the cord from the Mr. Bell behind it. We put our feet up and sip our tea. I'll call round tomorrow, I said after a while. But Grandad was so lost in thought I don't think he heard me. Chapter 3. The next day, Grandad greeted me with a hug grin. Hello, he said. We're going to another bicycle ride. Where are we going? I asked. Just follow my directions, said Grandad as we set off. Turn left at the lights, straight on at the crossroads, take the second right, fork at the end of the town. After half an hour, I hadn't a clue where we are. I hope he knows where we're going. But when I spotted a sign and it all became clear, we parked our bikes and went inside. The museum was marvelous. I had never seen so many bicycles. There were bikes and trikes of every size, shapes, colors, and age. I preferred these new models. As Grandad was admiring a modern racing bike, I noticed someone outside was an wood penny for thing. I looked again and saw it's Mr. Bell. Chapter 4. After a while, Mr. Bell came inside. He suddenly recognizes us. Well, it's not my friends from the car boot sale, he exclaimed. I hope you're enjoying my museum. It's the finest in the land, said Mr. Bell proudly, but then it looked sad. And here's the gap there, Roo, he sighed. He pointed at an empty stand. We just don't have a turn-of-the-century rear drive and safety bike. Is that what mine is? Asked Grandad. Mr. Bell nodded. Grandad cleared his throat. Look, Mr. Bell, I don't want your money, but I do need another bike. Another bike? Repeated Mr. Bell, looking interested. Please tell me more. Grandad explained, my old boneshaker bike isn't right for me now. I need to swap it a bike that's easy for ride. I really need a modern bike. Now, if you got a nice up-to-date model, Mr. Bell began to brighten up. I've got a ship full of new bicycles. I sell them to help pay for the museum. You can exchange your old bike for any one you like. He excitedly led us to his shops at the back of the museum. Chapter 5. But Mr. Bell wheeled out the best mountain bike I'd ever seen. This is our top-of-the-range model, he said. It's got 15 gears and is fit for a world champion. Grandad climbed on. The bike seemed just the right size for him. Mr. Bell opened the door. Why don't you try it outside? He said. So Grandad did. It felt really comfy. It grayed over bumps. The gears are ace. It's good round and bend. The brake worked well. It's easy getting uphill. I must have it. After a good trial ride, Grandad said he loved to swap his old bike for the new one. We all shook hands and said our goodbyes. We cycled home for the long way, through the park, over the common, and along the cannibal towpath. And this time I found it difficult keeping up with Grandad. Hang on, Grandad! The end. Wow, it's a very strange story, but what do you like? This story. Leave the comments below. Down. And I think this is a funny story in this two book. Leave the comments below and subscribe my channel a lot, please. Bye!